Oh, hey y'all, Fat Man Outdoors. Hey, if you liked the video, click that like button and click subscribe so that you'll get notifications whenever we post new content. Appreciate you watching. This is the Fat Man. I'm gone. Hey y'all, Fat Man Outdoors. I've had a few viewers mention in some of the comments that they've been struggling with bait casting reels. Do you need a bait casting reel? Not necessarily. Is it helpful at times? It sure is. The use of a bait casting reel versus a spin cast reel, where the help is you can handle a lot heavier line, so then you can fish in a whole lot of places that you just can't get in with a spinning reel, because you're going to have to fish with lighter line. With these bait cast reels, you can put heavier stuff on. Of course, now with the innovation of braided lines, that's changed a lot of that. But still, there's a place for bait casting reels, and I know everybody says I can't fish with them. I can't, I get a lot of backlash. The key to a bait casting reel, and that's with this style, that's like the Ambassadors, and they have adjustments on both sides, right here and right here. And not only is that a braking system, but it's also to center the spool on the reel, so it'll reduce the possibility of, if you get a backlash, that the line goes down in behind the spool, because if that happens, then you got a whole mess. You got to take it apart and all that. But with these reels, you'll, even with the standard, what you would recognize as a normal type bait casting reel, you have two brake systems on these almost always. You have one that's a spool brake. It's right here. It's a little thumb knob you can turn, and then you'll have on some that you can take the side plate off on the other side, and you can engage or disengage brakes. Or you have what I like, the one that has the magnetic dial control system. The ones that's got the brakes that you turn on and off, it's hard to fine tune one of those. Because it's either got this much pressure or it doesn't have that much pressure. Instead of, you may have an in-between point that you need to use in order to be able to throw the reel without it backlashing. So if you'll use these ones that's got the magnetic settings, they usually go anywhere from 0 to 12 to 0 to 15. This one is 0 to 12. So I've seen some that was 0 to 10. It's better off, I think, to start off at about a quarter of the way around. I've got this one set on about 3.5 after I adjusted the spool brake. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely turn everything off on the spool on this, and I'm just going to let this drop. And if I hadn't have stopped it with my thumb, I would have had a big backlash, because the line is just going to free spool. And again, I'll show you. I'll let it backlash a little. You can see the line in there where it backlashed some, and that's because the braking system for the spool didn't stop the spool when the line come in contact with the ground, and it would to simulate when it come in contact with the water. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this knob on the reel until when I push the disengage button, the reel will not move at all. The weight of the reel, the weight of the lure won't turn the reel. Now I'm going to back it off till it starts to fall. Let it hit the ground. Oh yeah, no backlash at all. Just fell down nice and smooth. No backlash at all. Let's try it again. Yeah, that's working nice. Oh yeah, guys, that's as good as you could ask for on a bait casting reel. Not getting anything, nothing. I like it. And again, like I said, I fish with light line, a lot lighter than most people do on bait casting reels. And I can even bounce it a little bit and make it come out faster. And it's still zero spool up when it hits the ground. I believe we're ready to cast her a few times and show y'all how to do circle cast. Okay, so now I've got my brake set to where when the lure falls and it hits the ground, I don't get any backlash in the reel. Now this is a 1/2 ounce Hottentot that I've got on this that I've removed the hooks from, so it's probably down to 3/8 of an ounce. It's a really good weight for this reel. Now if you'll use a casting motion that's a roll, that you almost make like a 3/4 circle with your cast, don't try to throw these overhanded. Don't try to throw them up until you get better. Till you figure out the ergonomics of how these reels work. It's a little circle cast that you'll just, and that's all you got to do. And you can see no backlash. I probably threw that lure, I don't know, let's see, good 60-70 feet, a long ways. And that's just with that's a lure that's not even got all of its weight. Make the little circle cast. No backlash. Got plenty of distance on the cast. What I suggest you do though, when you buy a reel, don't skimp. You can get some cheaper made set. This is a little Chinese reel that I give $8 for, and it's doing this. But now I've used a lot of these reels. I've used a lot of the Ambassador style of what I mean by the bigger bait casting reels, like you would see people saltwater fishing with, or catfishing with, or striper fish. And I've used bunches of these. Some of them I've had over the years would take really lightweight lures, and you could do a lot with them. Some of them you had to put a big spinning bait or a great big plug on them to get anything out of it. Right now, for its weight, I'm throwing a very light lure, and you can see no backlash anytime, and I'm getting great cast distance. I mean great, at least 70 feet. Got my drag up so I can reel my lure back in. The grass had a hold of it. But guys, that's all there is to it. It's not a great big thing. You just got to learn the system. The system is, you got 2 brake systems on pretty much any of these, whether they be cheap ones or they be good ones. Just starting off, I would still steer away from the ones that had the brakes you had to turn on or off, because like I said, it don't give you, you can't fine tune it, so you have to set it as close as you can to the way you fish, and then you kind of have to adjust to the way that works. But if you get the ones that's got the dial on it, like this one does, got the magnetic dial brake that works on the end of the cast, so that whenever that spool starts slowing down, it really slows it down a lot so you don't get that backlash. Another thing, don't use line that's too light. Look what the reel's classified for. Put that line on it, because if you put line on there that's too small and you get a backlash, that reel more than likely is going to be down all day, or you're going to re-spool it because it's going to get behind the spool and you're going to have to cut all the line out. With this one, again, I've been fishing with these a long time, so I fish with small line, way smaller than what should be in this reel. But what I do is, you can see how much of the spool I don't take up. They say 1/8 of an inch. Mine's probably 1/4 of an inch. But I've still got all kinds of line, all kinds. Even after I throw 70 feet, I've still got all kinds of line. Unless I hook a sturgeon or something, nothing's going to spool me. But guys, there's not a lot to this. You can fish with these lures on these reels, and the big up jump you'll get from a spinning reel to one of these bait casting reels is water covered. And if you bass fish a lot, even crappie fishing, you're going to learn water covered equals fish. Guys, I hope this video was informative. Hope it helped you. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Appreciate every one of you guys for getting us over the 1,000 subscribers hump. That was so awesome. I really never thought we'd ever get to this. I really appreciate y'all. And thanks again to Boss Prepping. Dude, you're awesome. He helped us get pushed over, asked some people to join up. Y'all are great. I'm going to keep going with some videos. I have got another video coming right after this one with a piece of tech for hunters that is going to be awesome, and you ain't going to believe how cheap it is. It's the Fat Man. I'm gone.